Hello, this is Zebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, I'm going to discuss a concern that people have, and that is with regards to Marilee, whether or not Marilee will become irrelevant in the future and whether or not they should continue to invest in her. So the concern came because Lily Mei, which is the new character in the hero pool, is overtaking Marilee in her job as the Queen of Dream Realm, and people are concerned, should I continue to put resources into her? Because if she's gonna be replaced by Lily Mei, where is she gonna be used, right? Is she gonna be of any good moving forward, and is she gonna be good to my account itself? So that's the few concerns which I hope to address in this video. And before I start, I'll make my point clear. I personally think, at least based on the current pool of unit at this point in time, Marilee is still very relevant in the game because of the next few reasons I'm going to talk about to analyze the difference between the two characters. So the very first reason, let's start with the ease of accessibility. So for Lily Mei's case, you can currently get her from the character banner, and based on all the past hero experience, she will transfer into the all hero recruitment for you to put her in the wishlist side of things. So she is relatively accessible, right? Because you can still get her from the gacha, and the cost of pulling for the gacha is cheaper, right, in the all hero. So you can definitely wait for her to go into the all hero recruitment before you start to spend for her. But if you really want to push her up to the higher tiers, I don't recommend that, because there's just so many different units in the wish list that you might not get her even if you do land on the S level characters. So if you really want to get Lily Mei, you need to get as many copies of her from the banners as possible, and depending on your max tier of your units, these are the max numbers of copies you can get from the banners itself. So this is for the chances. So there is still a limit as to how many copies of Lily Mei you can get based on your current tier right now. Whereas for our dear Marilee over here, you can already access her from the all hero recruitment from your hero wishlist right here. And one strength that she has over Lily Mei is her lack of competition in the A level light bearer pool, because every other unit here just ain't that good, right? So you can safely put her in the wish list and just continue pulling until you eventually reach S plus for her to unlock the true damage potential. So that's where she has a slight edge, because if you take a look at the wildest S level side, I will say that Iron actually has a much higher priority compared to Lily Mei as a general unit, both in arena as well as PvE, because Iron is the centerpiece of many teams out there. So if you consider the team building side, Iron is actually more important. So I won't be removing Iron anytime soon. So the last slot to be open to Lily Mei is the Floribel slot. But in this slot itself, you have amazing units like Floribel, like Hewin, Danny, and even Brian's pretty decent that you can put in, even though this tree is optimal from the shop itself. But if you want to accelerate their growth to Supreme Plus, because their Supreme Plus skills are pretty decent, then you also want to put them on a wish list. So that's where Lily Mei is good, but she has more competition, and depending on how you're building up your account as well as the focus of your account, your wish list might not have space for her. So that's one thing which I think Marilee is definitely still decent, because right now the A level characters from the light bearer faction, they're just generally really bad. So these two units there will definitely be right, at least until a new OP light bearer A level class character gets released. So that's for the accessibility part. On top of that, right, in terms of the different ways you can get them, you will eventually be able to get Lily Mei from the all hero recruitment as well as the epic recruitment, right? But you have a way higher chance to get Marilee in the process as well. So generally, the ease of getting Marilee to Supreme Plus first will be a lot easier. So that's why you can definitely just go for Marilee to Supreme Plus first until you're able to eventually build up Lily Mei to Supreme Plus based on the progression as well as the resource on your account. So that's number one, the ease of accessibility. Another way to hyper accelerate Marilee to Supreme Plus is from the Dream Realm store, because you can get 15 copies of Marilee shards over here to push her tiers up ASAP. This is something which I think you can't achieve with Lily Mei. So I'll say for free to play players, it will still definitely be worth it for you to get Marilee up, because you can push her to the higher tiers as fast as possible, and that's where you will get the pick in damage faster, right? Lily Mei is good at the lower copy, and you can definitely train both of them together, but it is still going to be worth it for you to go for Marilee in that position, because the other A level light bearer, they just suck, and Marilee is going to deliver until your Lily Mei comes online. So that's point number one. Okay, so another thing to consider is whether or not Marilee is relevant right now. is used hand in hand with Lily Mei in terms of the meta for the bosses. So this is currently Song of Strife season. So I'm gonna base it off this one first and then discuss about the potential future changes that could affect these differences moving forward. Okay, so if you take a look at Necro Dragon, top team is still our dear Merrily and Lily Mei. Right? If you take a look at Snow Stomper, also Merrily and Lily Mei. And then if you take a look at King Croaker, there's the top team doesn't consist of both of them, but there's still a Lily Mei and Merrily here as well. So it's definitely usable to, like, it's definitely feasible to run both of them together. And then for Skyclops, same thing, right? You can run Lily Mei and Merrily together because they just do so much damage that it's worth it to have them both in your team to do more damage. So out of the 6 boss, I think for Alpha Bear and Lone Gaze, I'll say Merrily is slowly being phased out because her mechanic isn't really good for those bosses, unfortunately. So that's where you will see less use for her, or you will get like a little bit less damage for her. But at least 4 out of 6 bosses, she's still very relevant, and she still ran hand in hand with Lily Mei right here. So if you talk about her feasibility right now, she's still quite high up in the list, and she can definitely still go hand in hand with the best unit for Dream Realm. So yes, as much as she has fallen off in terms of like the raw numbers itself, she is still very feasible and definitely worth it in my honest take. However, there's one more thing that could change out everything, and that is the changes in boss mechanics, which has been done before in the history of AFK Journey, right? In the start of Song of Strife season, throughout the Song of Strife season, a very simple change in how much defense the boss gain, as well as how much damage reduction the boss gain, could change out the true damage versus magical damage dynamics. So that's where it could actually change out the ranking in terms of the final damage output. If they do decide to make true damage the focus of damage dealing, then Merrily could definitely come out in terms of usage once again. But that is quite a slim chance, because even if they were to tune it, I don't think they're gonna over tune it such that Lily Mei become irrelevant, because they will anger a whole bunch of people out there. So there is a possibility, right? But it's not that high. So that's what I want to say. And if you take a look at all the different factors, right, the ease of accessibility, the easier pick in power level to reach true damage, as well as the general usability of Merrily even as a secondary DPS kind of unit, I think Merrily is still worth it moving forward. Right, I think Merrily is still a worthy unit because 1, you just don't have better choices to put on your wish list anyway. 2, she's still good hand in hand with the best unit in the game for Dream Realm, at least for 1 or 2 months, until you have enough resources to push like the next number 1 or number 2 damage dealer for Dream Realm to the best tier for maximum damage output. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just a simple analysis for this unit and why she's still relevant and why you should still continue going for her. And thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next AFK Journey video. Bye guys.